Okay, we back again.
We
Had to do
back,
this
we
one a
back, we
separate
back.
day. This is Frankly Football once again. We are gonna finish up our defensive expectations with the furthest back in the group, safety. Also, one of the ones that may need to show the most improvement. That remains to be seen.
Okay.
So the safety position has always been, at least for the past 3 or 4 years, a pain point for Cowboys fans because we want to improve at that position, but it seems like that has never been able to come because the last coaching regime, like many other positions, had their guys. Jeff Heath was one of Jason Garrett's guys,
Okay.
and he's
So,
not there anymore. And
well, well,
he means Heath and Garrett.
well, let's let for you to find out how you feel. Well, I want to know how you feel. How did you feel about the safety position?
I don't think that any team is ever just a safety away.
Okay.
If you have a good safety, great. But
Right.
I'm not gonna break the bank to go get a safety in free agency. Yes,
Okay. Okay.
I would consider getting one if the need was great enough in the draft early, but
Mm-hmm.
spending big money in free agency on a safety is not something I can get down with. Just
Okay.
because I
So,
don't think that a team can ever be really just a safety away. You can be a
so
cornerback away, but safety,
okay.
no.
So going into 2019, you were or you weren't a big fan for bringing on Earl Thomas.
Not for that price.
Not for that price.
Yeah, not for the first like they were looking for. No, if he would have been here, great. I'd be here for him all day long.
Gotcha.
But going for first, no. I
Okay.
would love for him
Okay.
to
So
be
you
here,
were
but I'm not gonna give up a player for Earl Thomas. I mean, not a player, a potential first round pick player for Earl Thomas,
okay.
because
So
we would have
if you
given up.
weren't
We would have
right,
given up CD Lamb if we would have given up our next first.
right. So you basically saying one, you weren't a big fan of Earl Thomas. So my
Whoa, whoa,
question
whoa,
is,
whoa. I'm not saying that I'm not a big fan of Earl Thomas. I'm saying that I'm not a big
okay,
fan of giving up a first round pick for Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas. Okay,
Yes.
so you don't want to give him a pick for Earl Thomas. So going back, so if you didn't want to give a pick up for Earl Thomas, how did you feel about the former strong safety that was here, the GOAT, Jeff Heath?
uh, Jeff was serviceable. I think that's the best way to say it. He
Serviceable.
yeah he had a good year. Not in
A
2019.
good
He
year
he
or
he had a good year in his career here in Dallas.
okay.
I think 2017. It was either 2017 or 2018 where he had like 3 interceptions.
Well,
That was probably his
Okay.
best year as a Cowboy,
Jeff
but
led the team in interceptions for a couple of years.
which is
So
insane because I think that was his only year with more than one.
no, we go back and look. Jeff led the team with interceptions. I think 2 years in a row with 5 interceptions, three interceptions.
Let's see.
Go back,
Yeah,
look
he
at the
had
go.
he had 2 in 2015, which led the team,
Okay,
and then he
and
had
what are
3 in 2017, which led the
that
team.
led the team?
Yeah.
Okay,
Now let me ask
2018.
you a question. Does that
Mhm.
say a lot about Jeff Heath or a little about the rest of the defense?
Two things. It says both. It says both things. It says one thing: Jeff Heath was a serviceable safety in the NFL, but he
Yes.
had to be on limited snap count. Jeff Heath is the guy that you want on all 4 phases of your special teams, which we're going to talk about later.
Yep.
And you want him to give you 20 to 25 snaps. All 4 phases of special teams. In 2017 and 2018, he was not the starter. He was in one of the 4 safeties back there. He wasn't the
Yeah.
starter. That made him able to make plays and things of that nature. That was his best role. When he was promoted to a starting position, that's when you saw the decline of Jeff Heath.
Yeah.
That's when you saw the decline of Jeff Heath. And the Cowboys, traditionally, under Rob Marinelli, have never really wanted a one-box strong safety and then a free safety. You follow me?
That's
The
right.
days of them having those kind of safeties goes all the way back to Darren Woodson, and Roy Williams, Ken Hamlin, Gerald Sensabaugh. They were to the point they would have a strong and a free. Now they've been a hybrid to being that because people pass the ball so much and the NFL has changed, is that the safeties need to be interchangeable. So having Xavier Woods, who is is a free safety, but can come up and hit, so can play a little bit of strong. Now with the addition of hilarious, as my man Bosch calls him, hilarious Clinton Dix or Ha Ha Clinton Dix, you now still have that same interchangeable part when it comes to your safety position.
Yes.
I have never been a fan of you need a safety to change life unless you have
Absolutely.
the other people.
Absolutely.
You're not that guy, because by the time it gets to the safety, there's 9 to 10 other guys who missed the play that this one guy's got to come up and clean all that up. So
That's absolutely
I
right.
can't.
I don't think that you should rely on the guy in the back of your defense to make the
Absolutely.
plays, because that does that mean that you are willing to give up everything before him? The
Right.
safety should never be that guy that you're dependent on.
Too far away from
You
the
need your,
ball.
exactly. Thank you.
Too far away
You
from the
need your
ball.
corners to be able to make the play first and foremost. Your safety needs to be their security valve.
Yeah, absolutely. If you've got a great safety who can come up and make plays or help clean up messes that are behind that are in front of him, that's great. But if you're thinking that he's going to be the guy to set the tone for everything else, nah. So guys like, he has to be the quarterback of the secondary, but the front seven have got to be to the point that they're making enough noise, moving stuff around, that you don't have to bring pressure and things from different places, that they can handle that. It's all three
Yes.
phases. It's all three phases, but that is your last phase. So when it comes to the safety position in Dallas, with Jeff being gone, the GOAT, as I always call him, he won a lot. He lost some games, but when he wasn't there in 2019, you could see the difference. When they had Godwin back there, when they tried to play Donovan Wilson, his first year as a rookie back there, you could see the difference when Jeff wasn't there. Him leaving and then getting a upgrade in Clinton Dix, I think that helped out a lot. I think that will allow Xavier Woods to play a little more freer, come into his own. This is also for him. This is his 4th year. He's coming up.
Yes.
Look at all the 1-year guys you got back there that have got to come up and make a drastic change. Clinton Dix is on a 1-year deal. Xavier Woods is in a contract year.
Yes.
You follow me? And so now you really got these two guys trying to make a name for themselves and do certain things.
And I'm glad that you brought up Ha Clinton Dix. He has historically, as a pro, been a much better free safety than strong safety.
Absolutely.
In 2018, he played with Green Bay and with Washington, and he played strong for both of those teams. He wasn't
Right.
necessarily able to succeed in those two situations, which is why he moved to Chicago. Now, granted, he did get multiple interceptions with Green Bay,
Yes.
but playing down in the box isn't his cup of tea.
No, he's not going right. He's not a guy who's going to come up trying to make. He's not. His tackling is suspect at best.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
what he's a getting away guy, maybe slow a guy up, but he's not going to be a guy come out of nowhere and thump you. But that's what Xavier Woods will do. But
Yeah.
Xavier Woods came into the league out of Louisiana Tech and being known as a hitter, but a guy who will intercept the ball and make a play on the ball.
Yeah.
So I think the change in coaching, because as our tag is, coaching matters,
Yeah.
you're going to see these guys fly around to the ball, make plays on the ball, which makes it to the point they'll be in better position to do different things.
Yes.
So you may end up this year maybe having 1 or 2 big plays happen on you, but you also have the opportunity to pick the ball off and make more plays.
It's risk reward. You have to be willing to risk something in order to have the reward of a big defensive play. And that's where the defense as a whole struggled last season. They weren't willing to risk.
Right. No, they were always, as we've always talked about, they were bend, don't break.
Yes.
We're going to give up ample amount of yards between the 20s. We're going to let you drive it and then get down to the 20s where it's short, constricted, confined spaces, and then try to close everything up. And that's just a terrible way to play because, when you're in those confined spaces, bang, bang plays, you end up making a play on the ball, you get a bad call, you end up getting another first down and 10, or a first and goal, and now you've really put yourself behind the eight ball instead of taking chances in open field and reading and being aggressive and making plays and having an opportunity to get the ball back.
And that's what I think that I'm hoping that Donovan Wilson will be able to do for the defense. He was a rising star coming up into the season last year.
Great preseason.
Absolutely.
Preseason.
Absolutely. Right. And I think that now that there is room for competition at both safety positions, he'll be able to come in and really try to make his mark on this coaching staff, because he doesn't have to get past any of those Garrett guys now. He has a brand new coaching staff that he can try to impress. And he is the size that they like as well. I think all of our safeties are the size that they like. Yeah, so nobody has that against them.
Donovan had a lot going in the last year that, we kind of maybe overlooked. He had a Jeff Heath on a contract year. Yep. He had a Kayvon Frazier on a contract year. You had those two guys. So they weren't going to be to the point of coming out, giving them loads and loads of information about trying to help how to get on the field. You had Xavier Woods trying to make a name for himself and having another great training camp. Coming out of camp, he was the guy you were looking like, oh man, he's about to have a breakout year. And so he didn't get a lot of assistance from the guys who were behind him to help him get to the next level. I think, again, having a full year inside the program, having a full year inside the building, and having the new regime in coaching, I think it'll help him. Lindquist being his coach in college, I think that'll definitely give him an edge.
I'm glad that you beat me to that. He actually has that going for him, that he has the relationship with Coach Lindquist.
Right.
So I think that with him already having a knack for being at the right place at the right time,
yes,
with the coaching staff also preaching, takeaways.
Yes.
As long as he can get his hands on the ball,
that's what you want.
He's poised to succeed.
Gotcha.
So now that we're because we always like to talk about the coaches, who do you feel will benefit the most from the coaching philosophy change?
In the secondary?
Yes. Well, in the safety, since we're talking about safeties.
I think in a whole, it will be a change in philosophy for all the players, but I think the guy who's going to really benefit the most from it is going to be Chidobe Awuzie. I think Chidobe Awuzie has got the size. He already has the size, but even with the last technique he was taught, he was always right there.
Absolutely.
Like he was right there. You didn't beat him. But that inch, those 2 to 3 inches make all the difference in the world.
Absolutely.
So I think him being in this system now with these guys, he'll be in better position. Now looking for the ball, having more pass deflections. I think it's a stat out there. He's one of the top 5 guys
in pass deflections. Yes.
Yeah, in the league.
So he had like 15 of them last season.
Right. So if he's that guy in pass deflections and getting the ball thrown at him, then people are going to try to challenge him. They're going to come out this year and say, okay, hey, we're going to try both of these guys. Kennedy's a guy that's unknown name. We don't know how he's going to be. You got Daryl Worley. He's a guy we're going to try him as well. We're going to go over to Chidobe, and I think they'll get thrown at, but I think it'll be to the point we'll get more batted balls, and because guys are moving around trying to look for the ball now, I think it'll be more turnovers, more opportunities for making plays on the secondary.
Absolutely. While I think it'll be another player at a different position, specifically talking about the safeties, I think that Xavier Woods is going to be able to benefit the most from the philosophy change. He was able to get multiple interceptions in both years that Chris Richard was here. While Chris was talking, play the player, swat the ball down.
Right.
He got 4 interceptions during Rashad's tenure here.
Okay.
So I think that if you have a coach that's preaching to take the ball away, I think that he'll be able to, put himself in position to have a great opportunity. After him, after him, and I think that Woods is going to be playing strong. I think that
Okay.
it's going to start off with Clinton Dix playing free.
Okay.
But it is going to be very little breathing room between him and Donovan Wilson.
I can see
Very
that.
little.
I can see that. I can see that on a 2-year deal. I can see that because at the end of the day, it's not a lot of money. And if you think Wilson can come up and make plays, tackle better, then it's not a lot. It's not a lot for you to let Dix go if you think he's not, moving. If his arc, which we say it isn't on the rise, and Wilson's is, it'll be a whole lot easier to play him and get him out there and get him the experience he needs. So I wouldn't be surprised with that. I don't think Dix gets cut because I think, like I said, with the COVID situation, I think you want to have as many veterans going into the season of seeing the speed of the game. But I think Wilson will get ample opportunity to play on the field, make plays, and by midseason, you'll start seeing more of a form of them. Then you'll have a really good 3-man rotation with those guys. I think the Kirk kid, the undrafted free agent out of, I think it's out.
Luther Kirk.
I think he'll have an opportunity to make this team play a lot of special teams, but he'll get a chance too. And as we've always said, the Cowboys are always looking for talented, cheap labor.
Absolutely.
Talented, cheap labor. And I think in the back half, that will be an addition. You'll have a group of guys who can grow up together. You got Diggs. You got Patrick Robinson. You'll have the Kirk kid. You'll have Donovan Wilson on his second year. You'll have, the one guy who I think if he continues to play the way you think he's going to play, I think they'll turn around in mid-year and they'll go ahead and sign Xavier Woods to an extension. And if that happens, you can be able to see Clinton Dix out the door by the end of next year after we win the Super Bowl.
After we win the Super Bowl, hey, look, I'll let him go.
I'll let him go after that. He can go do what he want to do.
Hey, look,
his own ticket. I don't care. He can do what he wants to. But yeah,
if that gets us a ring, then it's money well
spent.
That's
right. That's right. So I think that's the deal with the safeties. I think it's a four-man fight right now.
Yep.
If I had to pencil those guys in, barring injury, I think Godwin is another special teams ace, but Godwin's a cornerback slash. I guess he's a safety, but he's more of a special teams guy.
Yeah.
So I see him carrying. I think I got him carrying maybe 7 corners.
Mm-hmm.
And your four safeties. I think you go with your 4 safeties. I think you go with Woods. You go with Dix. You go with Wilson. And I think you go with Kirk.
Darian Thompson isn't going to make this team.
Yeah.
I can stamp that one right now.
He
is the skill-wise the odd man out.
Gotcha.
I've historically been a 10 DB type of guy. Six corner 4 safety.
Okay.
But with there being the extra 2 spots this year, I could see them taking 1 extra corner because when it comes to playing on the defense, you want to have as many corners as possible. For you to constantly rotate them out or run a set where you can have 5 DBs on the field.
Okay. So you you saying this year instead of 6 and 4, you're going 7 and 3?
I might go 7 and 4. Because of the extra 2 spots. Gotcha. One of those can go to a corner.
Okay, so you're going to take both of your extra spots and put them on defense.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, the only other situation where I could see them keeping an extra guy on offense is an extra receiver, as like a guy specifically for special teams.
For what?
Exactly. For what? That's the only other situation for special teams.
I mean, you already talking about taking 4 receivers? Would you want to keep 4 or 5 receivers this year?
5, definitely 5. At least 5. Let me say it that way.
Okay. Well, we'll get back to that later. We'll go back to that. We already we'll talk about that later.
That's a different episode. Yes, you're right.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
But back to the safeties. It's definitely 4. It's definitely 4 with the safeties. And as it stands right now, unless somebody surprises me, I think it's Woods, Clinton Dix, Wilson, and Luther.
Yeah, gotta be. Yeah, I think Luther Kirk has an opportunity to do that. I think they made a concerted effort to go get him. They didn't bring in another safety. They
No.
didn't bring another undrafted free safety in. And I think if you want to start a young guy who has size, who has versatility, who's gotten to the ball, you bring him in. He can play all your special teams. I think your special team guys out the gate from the secondary, you can have Diggs out there because he's going to have limited time with playing cornerback. He's not going to out the gate start. He's going to play in special teams. Kirk will play in special teams. And I think Patrick Robin plays on all your special teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
Every
I need to, and we're going to talk about this in just a few minutes once we go into our next episode. I need special teamers.
Because they got to be special.
Yes.
They got to be special.
It's a third of the game.
That's a third of the game, man. Well, that's what's up, man.
I think that's all we got on safeties, man.
Man,
there is so much division amongst the safety unit. We may have a little to say, but there are so many other people that may have so much more to say because they think that a team is just a safety away.
But let's go to that other issue with safety, that other guy that's on contract, the guy that every time it comes up that they want to talk about, and that's Jamal Adams.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Give me Brandon's insight and how he feels about Jamal Adams.
I think that Jamal Adams is a great player. But am I willing to give up a first rounder? And I think they wanted a third rounder as well. And then pay him $60 million. When I could just keep my first and my third rounder and then go and sign somebody like Jadeveon Clowney and keep and we could sign him for 1 year for $20 million and I could just keep my other $40 million.
Keep my other $40 million.
Like you said, there is so much that I would have to give up to get Jamal Adams that it gives me so many other options.
Right. I think what ends up happening every year, you're going to turn around and you're going to have a really good safety. 2019, 2018, you had that great draft class. You had Juan Thornhill out of Virginia, near your area up there in Richmond.
That's right.
You had Taylor Rapp come out. You had so many guys. You had Little Milsel, who's up in your area up in Maryland. Daryl, was it Savage?
Yep, Darnell Savage.
Yeah, he was there. And so it was such a big need for teams to go get a safety, because we haven't had a great safety here since Darren Woodson. That's been the cry. You haven't had a safety. Nobody. You've replaced every other position, but you've never replaced it with a safety. And I think in this league, there's certain areas that you build your team with. You build your team with a quarterback, a left tackle who can protect the quarterback, a right defensive end who can rush him, right? You get a shutdown corner, right?
Yes.
And then you get a wide receiver. When I'm thinking about the things that I need that I can get by with that can be serviceable, I think about my safeties. If you sit here right now, if you think about the world champion Kansas City Chiefs right now, can you name both of their safeties?
I'll wait.
Yeah. We don't want to burn up time, but you can't. You know about Chris Jones.
That's right.
Right. You know about Frank Clark.
Yep.
Right. You know about Anthony Hitchens because he played here and played for us in Dallas.
And
right?
Honey Badger.
You know about
Honey Badger is one of their safeties, but he's a big name.
Right. Tyrann Mathieu.
Yes.
You talking about so you don't know who that safety is. So safety is not the what all be all. What you need to do is make pressure. You create pressure with scheme. You create pressure with players. But your safeties is a guy who cleans up some of the messes. And I think you can train these guys up to not only just clean up messes, but cause confusion in the backfield. And I think this is Xavier Woods' chance to really shine in that secondary and be the quarterback and be the leader of that secondary back there.
That's right. I'm glad to hear it.
So I don't want to give up none. No. I don't want to give any top 100 pick away
at all
under no circumstances.
When you could just wait until his contract run out and sign him as a free agent.
Listen, I'm not willing to give up the opportunity to get Neville Gallimore, Michael Gallup, right? Tony Pollard because all those guys were top 100 picks.
That's right.
Top 100. And if I get enough top 100 guys on my team, I can continue to build my team the way I want to. And I don't need that. Jamal Adams, if he's able to come and he wants to come and work with Steven and give us a hometown discount because he's from Dallas. But if he's already talking about I want to be the highest paid safety, I can't have the highest paid quarterback. I can't have the highest paid running back, wide receiver, left tackle, linebacker, left defensive end, and now I gotta have the highest paid safety. Come on, man. At some point in time, man, it does run out.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: what would you give up for Jamal Adams?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I'm not giving up anything.
Second. Even if it was just a second rounder or a third rounder, you wouldn't.
Brandon, we will have right now, if we don't do anything different, right? Mm-hmm. I'm getting a third for Byron Jones.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna get a fourth for Robert Quinn. Yep. Right. I'm gonna end up getting a fourth for Randall Cobb.
Yep.
Right. So I walk into next year with a first, a second, 2/3, and 3/4 round fourths. That's the first 2 days of the draft. A first, a second, 2/3, and 2/4.
No,
right,
wait, 3/3 and is it 3/3 or is it 2/3? Because it really depends on what you get for Cobb. I mean, yeah, it depends on what you get for Cobb. Are you getting a 3 or a 4 for Cobb?
No, I get a 3. I won't get a 3 for Cobb. I'll get a 4 for Cobb.
Okay.
I'll get a 4 for Cobb, and I get a 4 for Cobb and a 4 for Quinn. I get a third round pick for Byron Jones.
Yes.
So I get a first, a second, 2/3, and 3/4. That's 6 quality players.
Yes, absolutely.
That's 6 top 150 players.
That is opportunity to move up in the draft, where you could then replace your safety.
I can replace my safety. I can maybe replace a D tackle. Maybe turn around and get another linebacker. Bruh, I got 6 picks in the top 150. I'm not giving up anything for a safety because guaranteed we'll be sitting here. You and I will be sitting here in October watching college football. Like, yo, do you see such and such from North Carolina? Or you see such and such from Florida State.
Look, I'm gonna do my best to live in the moment, but I am excited for that. I'm excited for film watching.
That's the beauty. That is the beauty of the system. So I'm not giving up anything for that because I have so many people with big contracts that I have got to find cheap labor over the next 2 to 3 drafts to replenish these other guys that I'm going to lose because of age, right?
Yep.
And contracts that I'm not going to be able to sign them to.
That's right. Absolutely. And I'm already trying to be picking 32nd anyway.
Right. I'm already trying to pick a high second rounder.
There we go.
Anyway, because I'm picking them from 30 to 32. So
That's right.
I'm in that position where I know I have to be able to do that. I know my money is going to get tighter, even though the cap is going to grow. But because I have such big contracts on Cooper, on Rain, on Ezekiel, on DeMarcus Lawrence, and
eventually
Jalen,
Gallup,
and Michael Gallup, and Lyle Collins, I have got to go replenish my roster with cheap, affordable, excellent talent. They can be coached up.
Absolutely.
So I'm not giving up anything. And I will cheer for Jamal Adams wherever he goes and wherever he gets his money. But that joker's under contract for the next 2 years. Jets say you're going to play this year, and you already know we're picking up your 5th-year option. Don't even think about it.
Absolutely.
So I'm good with that.
It's not feasible for us. It's not profitable. That's the better word for me to use.
It's not probable. It's just something good to talk about because we're coming out. We're trying to, as a country and as a people, come out of this COVID-19 situation. That's
Definitely.
It sounds good.
Definitely. But as far as safety goes, I think that's it. Give me your 2 starters day one going into camp.
Going to camp, I'm gonna go with Dix and I'm gonna go with Woods. They're gonna be my starters.
Absolutely.
But I got 5 preseason games if everything works out. So I'll be able to see Kirk, barring injury. I'll be able to see a lot of Donovan Wilson, right? And there may be another guy that we haven't looked at that may make a move in that area. Them talking about moving to Chidobe means one thing, is that they're really gonna give a hard look to Savion Smith and Darryl Worley on the other side.
Absolutely.
That would be the only reason I would even think about Chidobe going back to safety. They're going to really give a hard look to Worley and Savion Smith. Diggs is going to be my starting cornerback game 6 of the year.
Yeah,
game
absolutely.
6 by game 6, he's going to be my
Absolutely.
starter. He's going to be my starter. I already know Robinson is going to be my special teams guy, trying to work himself into the rotation. For next year, not this year, but for next year.
Yes, sir.
But that's my so that's why I think they're thinking about moving Chidobe back to safety, just to keep him on the field and see what he sees, be a definite guy that you put in the dime and things of that nature. But I just don't see him giving it up that easily.
Nah, not in the contract year.
I just don't see him giving it up that easily.
Not in the contract year. He would be doing himself a disservice.
I don't think it's the fact that he's doing the disservice. I don't think he'll be a disservice. I think he'll just play that well, and with the change in technique, you'll be like, oh, we should have been doing this a long time ago.
You would think.
I'm being totally honest.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But it's so easy to see that it's funny. Yeah, it's so easy to see that it's funny.
Yeah. Well, see, it's not funny. It's like we sat there and thinking it would work, and it didn't work. So we blamed so much on we had to sit up every day that we saw, Gary come and talk to us about execution. Well, if you're not going to teach them the proper technique or techniques to attack the ball, then that's what you end up getting. And then having all the questions about it afterwards. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Those are my starters in camp.
Yeah. And you mentioned that Garrett talking about it's about execution. That's why they aren't here anymore. They weren't able to execute.
That's right. That's why they're not here. They're elsewhere.
Absolutely. Wish them luck elsewhere, but not in this city.
No, I wish him luck 14 Sundays out of the year, some of the 2 they play us.
There we
That's
go.
it. That's how I go.
But I think we've bled that well dry. Once again, this has been the last episode of the defense. Next time we're moving into special teams. One of the areas that has to improve the most. So this has been Frankly Football. I'm Brandon.
I'm Chris.
Appreciate you for watching. Smash that like and subscribe button and push that notification bell so you don't miss any more great episodes like this. Peace.
Peace.